and it's Mindful Monday. And I think I shared with you last week that I'd started reading a book that had been recommended to me by Jeannie Fritsch called Leadership and Self-Deception. And then the subtitle is Getting Out of the Box. So when I started reading it, I thought it was going to be a book about leadership. So I was envisioning entrepreneurship, starting your own business, being in an organization, doing some kind of service, offering classes, something like that. So much to my surprise, every one of the stories that is in this book is used as a way to illustrate how we get into a box in our thinking. And once we're in that box, how that thinking, we carry it around with us pretty soon, and how it begins to it's no longer even about the other. It becomes a whole way of thinking. And it poisons relationships, both in your family, in your business, with your clients. And what was interesting to me is, what is the box? So the power of this book, for me, is it has really created a mirror of self-reflection for me, unlike anything I've read in several years, unlike any message a mentor has shared with me, unlike anything I've studied. And I think part of the power of it is that embedded in this book, I can see, for example, some of the most important principles of transcendental rebirthing. No excuses, honest yes and no's, nothing personal, no rescue, all kinds of truths that we study as part of the foundation of TR are in this book. However, the book is totally pragmatic. When you read it, or when I'm reading it, it's not filled with spiritual inspiration, calling on you to be a finer, better person. It's all about, so when this happens, what are you thinking? What happens when you make this choice? And from that choice, what happens when you make the next choice? And it's so empowering because, for me anyway, I recognize that for years I have been telling myself some stories. I now recognize that when I go out in the world, I'm sharing this story. And that the underlying motivation of the story is not information. The underlying motivation is self-justification. And so needless to say, this past week, this book has really taken me to places that I did not think still existed within me. It's been humbling. It's been illuminating, and it is an invitation for me to get it together, to become even more aligned, to walk my talk even more than I already am. I cannot recommend this book enough. I think anyone who buys it, anyone who reads it, will find something within it that will support them to be even more aligned, even more free, even more compassionate with themselves and with others. Anyway, that's my tip for Mindful Monday today. Buy this book, Leadership and Self-Deception, because the box that you live in arises out of those moments when we are not true to that first thought that comes into our mind about helping someone, about showing up for someone, about showing up for ourselves. It's that first denial that begins the journey, creating a box that justifies every choice you make when you don't honor that first opportunity to be the best you can be. So give yourself a treat. Do yourself a favor. Get the book. Have a great day.